Yeah, I'm back with another YouTube video today. Well, it's the same from probably yesterday, a little different. I'm gonna start with the Lions. So, um, and we'll go from there. But yeah, it's Wednesday, and I'm encouraged. Why? Well, we got the Lions looking better. We've got them improving heading into the bye week. It's looking very, very encouraging right now. Now, it is the NFL. Things change every week. There's no guarantees in the NFL, honestly, the Chiefs. Um, but yeah, Lions looking fantastic. Finally, we had a bad game against Green Bay and the Chiefs. That's about it. That's the only two L's we've ever taken this week. I mean, this season so far. Um, Offense struggled a little bit yesterday. I mean, on Monday, but defense is looking spectacular. Now, what I'm hoping for the Lions can do is continue to play great defense while keeping offense looking sharp too, because defense was on the field a lot on Monday, which is good, kind of, but at the same time, the longer our defense is on the field means the more time the other team's offense is on the field. Defenses get tired faster than offenses. Why? You got bigger people, bigger linemen, bigger people on the defensive front, so they tend to get tired quicker. Um, it's also very aggressive on the defense. You're constantly rushing, trying to make a play happen. You're running cardio, trying to run backwards to defend against wide receivers and stuff. So it's exhausting on defense. I like the Lions offense. We can go down quick and score, but at the same time, you have to remember the longer we're on defense on the field, yes, we may be winning, but we also need to remember that it doesn't help our defense if we going down and scoring in 30 seconds, because that's just 30 seconds of rest our defense gets. When you can run up the middle, when we can get the run game going and the passing game, that's preferred. But if we can keep the running game going, picking up 10 yards here, 10 yards there, 5 yards here, but keep picking up the first downs, chewing up clock. Not only does it give our defense healthy, does it keep our defense rested, it reduces the injuries that our defense may suffer because they're not on the field as much, risking massive hits. Before I forget, for those of you just watching, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and leave some chats down below. Your thoughts on the NFL season so far. Oh, and yeah, let me know who your favorite team is and why you like them and how they're doing. So, anyway, yes, offensively, the Lions are looking sharp. We got Isaac Tesla. We got a 1-2 punch with Sonic and Knuckles at running back. Jared Goff is looking awesome. I will say he has 2 picks this season now. One, I think, came against the Ravens, or was it the Chiefs? I don't remember. I just know. Yeah, I think it was the Ravens. And then he had another pick against the Buccaneers on Monday. I will say I don't like when that happens, but it's natural. It's going to happen. Um, Receivers are going to miss key routes or something, or they're going to mess something up, and so he's going to end up always throw it. It may be inconsistent, but that doesn't mean his accuracy sucks. There's also times it gets tipped at the line and it results in an interception. But Jared Goff is looking better, always. Our O line is holding up nicely. I'm liking that. I like seeing that. They're blocking better. They're not allowing sacks as often. Goff is getting more time in the pocket to throw balls down the field, to throw to open receivers, pick up 10 yards for the first down. Um, I do like that. I will say, side note, I don't understand with the NFL is when it's 4th and 2, 4th and 5, and you need a first down. Why are we taking deep shots to the end zone? Like it's 4th and 5, get the first down and then take the deep shot. So that way you have at least three more attempts to get to the end zone. But when it's 4th and 5, there's a risk, which normally it always happens, of the receiver not catching the ball, dropping the pass, or overthrowing the receiver, or being picked off, and then it swings momentum towards the other team. I've seen this quite a few times already this season, with not just the Lions, but with other teams. Where it's 4th and 5, 4th and 3, 4th and 2, they'll go for it and they'll overthrow it into the end zone. Pick up the first down. It's simple. If it's 4th and 5 and you're at the 40-yard line, pick up the first down, and then worry about getting the next points. Because if you don't get on 4th and down, you're giving them better field position. So please, yes, Robert Butler. I'm talking about football, National Football League, the NFL. I'm talking about that right now. Normally, I do fishing content, but fishing season is slowing down right now, so I'm focusing on football content until fishing season picks back up. The Browns, well, first of all, the Browns aren't bad. Shit, pardon my language. The Browns hung in there with the Packers, but I think the Browns beat the Packers. The Lions did beat the Browns, so I think the Browns are. They're also having quarterback problems. I think they just traded Joe Burrow. I mean, not Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is not on the Browns. They traded Joe Flacco to the Bengals. So it's not really looking good for the Browns. But my thoughts on Travis Kelce. Well, as a person, he could be a good guy. On the football field, he's a butt white. I don't like Travis Kelce. I'm sorry, but I don't. He's a crybaby. He's drama. He's a drama king. He if he doesn't get the ball, he throws a temper tantrum and melts down. When he does get the ball for 2 yards, he celebrates and looks up at Taylor Swift. And most of the time, when the camera goes up to Taylor Swift, she's not paying attention. She doesn't care. She's talking. She's on the phone. It doesn't matter. I don't want her on my screen. Get off. I have a football, not Taylor Swift. The Chiefs. Ugh. Boy, the Chiefs. I don't know if I got any Chiefs Kingdom fans in here, but I don't. The Chiefs piss me off. Okay, I'm sorry. The Chiefs piss me off. It's not that they're not good, but they're also not great. They're bad, but they're not terrible. I don't like them. They're not consistent. They can't win clean games. Now I know you're gonna say, but Bass, they just beat the Lions last week. Yes, I know. I watched the game, but with that, they did. There's a whole bunch of penalties that they missed on the Chiefs. Nothing was going the Lions' way. It was just a whole meltdown for the team. And you got to remember, it was a night game at Arrowhead on prime time. So, of course, it's going to swing in the Chiefs' favor a little bit. But I'm not making excuses because I know the Lions can play better. They will play better. I do think if the Lions go to the Super Bowl, there's a chance that they might play the Chiefs. And I think that if they do play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, it may be a different story this time around. The Lions know what to expect now. But the key is this: we're not playing in Arrowhead. We would not be playing in Arrowhead. I don't know where the Super Bowl is being played this year. I'll have to look later. But the key is that the Super Bowl is not in Arrowhead, meaning that if whoever plays the Super Bowl, being the Lions, the Chiefs, there's no advantage for either team. So it's looking like it could be a good possibility. So yeah, my question for you is, while I'm talking, who is your favorite team, NFL team, and why? Answer down in the chat. But the Lions are looking like they have a good shot of taking it to the bowl this year. They have a good chance of making it to the bowl and getting the trophy. That would be a miracle if the Lions were able to do that in 5 years. I think it's been Dan Campbell turned the team around, I think in 2021, 24 years. I think it was from whatever. 4 years, the Lions were able to do that. Going from the butt of the joke in the league to a laughing stock to constantly Super Bowl contenders, playoff team every year. Now, first year of the Lions was rough with Dan Campbell, but they did get better. They learned, they improved, they brought players in who wanted to be there. They created a identity, a culture. They got rid of all the negatives, the thugs, the players who were just there to collect money and a paycheck. Put them away. And they brought in players like Jared Goff, drafted players like Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamar Gibbs, brought in David Montgomery from the Bears, and we picked up a lot of great pieces. Aiden Hutchinson. We even picked up Zadarius Smith, I think, last season, but he retired, not with the Lions, though, unfortunately. But we picked up a lot of key players, and that helped that helped us greatly. It did. Dan Campbell, I never watched him play because I was not alive yet, but Dan Campbell inspired this team. Heck, he inspired the entire city of Detroit by taking a team literally at the bottom and turning them into like the top, bringing them to the top. Now he's not entirely at the summit yet. That will be after we win the Super Bowl. But imagine how the city of Detroit will react if Dan Campbell would be able to get them to the Super Bowl this year and finally win the Super Bowl. He'd be the first coach in Lions history to ever bring the Super Bowl trophy to the Lombardi Trophy, my bad, to Detroit. The Lions are one of the few teams that have never been to the Super Bowl. We've come close, but last year we lost to the Commanders, unfortunately, and Vincent's team, Eagles, were able to beat them 55-23. I like that. That was funny. That made me feel better. And then my favorite last year was when the Eagles smacked the Chiefs around like toys. It was like, what was it, 40-22 was the final score, but it was like 28-0 or something at halftime. Chiefs looked terrible. It was a good moment. So that was a great year for the Lions. Well, not the Lions. Well, yes, but that was a great team for everyone. When the Chiefs lose, the NFL wins. So fly, Eagles, fly for that. But I will say, Vince, Jalen Hurts is impressive. I mean, when he first came into this league, I was not sure about him. I didn't know about him. I think he came from Alabama, but I didn't know where he came from. I didn't know much about him. Like, the Eagles were one of those teams that bored me, that never had my attention. They just every time I saw them, I'm like, oh, here we go, another team that I couldn't possibly care about. But the Eagles have become more than that for me. I do not like them. They're not. I'm not a fan of them. I should say I do like them, but I'm not a fan of them. Like I'm a fan of the Lions, but I like the Eagles. There's a difference. But the Eagles have you know they ever since they've brought in Saquon. I think they have like Quinyon Mitchell, he's pretty good too. Jalen Hurts. I know Jason Kelsey retired, but the Eagles, they're not a team to sleep on, I will say. But I will say Jalen Hurts, people sleep on Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, needs to be in the top five, if not top three quarterbacks. Yes, I know there's all this hype about Mahomes, but look what Mahomes did against Hurts. Hurts was diming him up. Hurts has the potential to be great, and I think he will be. As you said, his offensive coach may hold him back a little bit. I've watched a few Eagles games. Hurts, if he can get his deep passes down, I know he likes to do checkdowns, but I've seen him throw bombs 50 yards downfield. He can do it. And when he does normally complete them. So for all of you who sleep on Jalen Hurts, I don't recommend it. Pay attention to Jalen Hurts. There's a reason the Eagles are 5-2, and they're the Super Bowl champs, defending Super Bowl champs. So do not sleep on Jalen Hurts. That will be a mistake. Trust me. The Arizona Cardinals, I will say, what was up with the Arizona Cardinals losing to the Tennessee Titans? Like, how do you do that? Like, I know how, but why? I can't believe the Arizona Cardinals did that. I can't. I believe the Eagles play the Lions in the regular season too. Because I know we played Cowboys. I think we played the Commanders again. So I think we played the Eagles again too. I think we play the Eagles this year too. I mean, I don't think we're playing the Giants, but I'm not worried about that. And yeah, the Titans are awful again. They are for sure. But the Commanders is not really a threat to the Lions right now, it looks like. I mean, Dallas just smacked the Commanders around 44-22. That was a tough game for the Commanders, but you know, JD5, I think he got hurt again, didn't he? It's looking like another tough season for the Commanders, which honestly it sucks because the Commanders were looking so good starting out the season, and now they're just looking like they're regressing fast. Missed blocks, Lattimore missing tackles to save his life, getting beat downfield. I think JD5 is probably the best weapon. Terry McLaurin is out. I'm not worried about